but because of how dominant Sweeby has been over ApolloKage just these past couple of locals.
Yeah, and we've seen before when AK hasn't been #1 in St. Louis, and then he starts turning up because it's really time to get back to the grind. It happened when Luma got first, and now it's happened again when Yachty's got first. So let's see what sort of tech AK can bring into the set and what sort of new stuff he can to try and take it over Sweeby today.
And I do think it's very interesting, right? Because ApolloKage, at least out of region, he hasn't gone to too many things, and so you get a lot less opportunity to get these really, really good wins.
Yep.
But I feel like the times when he was succeeding the most out of that is when he had someone pushing him, when he had Colin, had Luma, always pushing him to the very edge. And those two have been attending a lot less, right?
Yep.
So when Yachty came back to St. Louis, it was just absolutely so much stronger in terms of competition, and now he has someone to study the game with as well. He's getting pushed to that point where he's able to get back to that fighting form. And again, we're seeing it here in Game 1, Yachty making it absolutely relentless in a matchup that we do think that Mega Man does win, no?
Yeah, AK's been complaining about this matchup since he started getting good with Snake back in the day. It's going to be evened up, only 15% separating them. Now, AK has been meticulous about getting some stuff to sort of make the matchup easier. One of those things being crawling, for example, so we should be keeping an eye out for when AK's crawling to sort of get around these pellets and the zoning to try and get in Yachty's face a little bit more.
And a bigger thing, too, as well, is that both these players have optimized the matchup so much, right? Like, AK has beaten players like Peepnut before. He's gotten a lot of matchup experience in this game, specifically because of Yachty, too, right? At a certain point, when you've played someone thousands and thousands of times over and over again, right, you're playing more of the player than you are the matchup as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And even outside of locals, these two are playing all the time. So you can definitely see, like, you know, when it starts looking like you're going for reads that you would go for in friendlies type stuff. So it's very interesting.
Instead of going out on a weekend to like a club or something, both these are like, do you want to play a first to 100 on my couch this weekend? Like, this is how much both these players play and how much both these players love the game as well, right?
Yeah, I think it's interesting where at Smashville, too. I know AK sort of likes this stage, and I'm sure Mega Man for the same reasons. Underneath that center platform is sort of like an umbrella, you know, because it's hard for people to approach you from the air. So I think it's really interesting that we picked this stage of all for starters. But Sweeby looking to end Game 1 pretty quickly. Got AK on his last stock right now.
It's crazy to see, though, that Snake typically would be okay with just sitting under the center platform and putting a lot of C4 and also grenades right next to it so that he would have an approach. But you saw AK push the note over there instead, and Sweeby was just able to get a punch off of that. I do want AK to at least slow it down a little bit. But again, like it feels like they're playing friendlies. It's not just like any other match where they're just camping until 2 minutes in.
Absolutely. Got Yachty off stage, but then AK throws himself back in the corner. Luckily, we're resetting to neutral right now because that could have been detrimental for AK.
Yeah, back here rising up and putting AK back into center stage. He has stage control, but all this is just extra credit for Chapstick, for Yachty, Chapstick, Sweeby. Bro, like,
bro, for sure.
Holy!
C4, oh, man. And just the first hit of dash attack. My man looking like an animation canceling, like Spider-Man in Marvel Rivals, bro.
We got the cross game. I mean, I know Yachty's been grinding in multiple other games too. This guy's not just a one trick on Super Smash Bros. But again, it's a lot of this percent that Yachty is getting onto AK. He's so okay with it, even if it is his last stock situation. He feels so much more comfortable because he knows a lot more straight hits can just kill.
Yeah. Also, AK sort of lives in these situations. Like, how many times have you seen AK get to his last stock, buckle down, live till 200, and steal the game? Like, he's just trying to be sort of meticulous. If he gets hit with a metal blade, like a stray hit or like a pellet, it's okay. It's just chip damage. It doesn't really matter. As long as he's not letting Yachty get these big openings, he's more than okay. So he's taking some hits, and it's all right because Snake also heavy as can be.
We've both seen these players come back super hard from basically anything. Great forward air, taking the AK out of that forward smash.
Yeah, that was close.
It's so close.
And that's another thing. AK sometimes, and he does this in every game he plays, sometimes he'll just let it rip. Oh, that killed too. That was crazy.
I never feel comfortable about up air because I feel like it just kills at the dumbest percents, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like when I'm all the way up there, I feel like I'll die at 30-40% if I do the wrong DI or anything like that.
Yeah.
160% when it goes straight up and you get hit by every single hitbox of it, it feels so bad to get hit by it.
Yeah. He also caught him with a forward air out of it, too, so then he got, like, knockback sack and everything. It's crazy, but yeah, like I was saying, AK, in, like, everything he does, sometimes he'll be like, haha, it'd be funny if this hit, and he'll just rip a smash attack. He does it in Rivals, too, also, where he's like, you know, wouldn't it be funny? Those are the scariest players, too, when they just do stuff because they think it'd be funny. Like, I hate playing them players.
I mean, he's just a tournament player, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He definitely does not do that in friendlies. He's definitely just calm, cool, and collected usually. But that's the thing. A lot of these burst options that AK usually does, for a typical player against like a player like Colin or Luma, I feel like he gets away with it a lot more. But I feel like Yachty, in general, typically is not usually phased by those weird options, right? Because he's also looking for them himself, where he's just waiting. His setup game is just so strong as well.
Yep.
And AK, going to have to play a little bit more unsafe in a situation like this against a better player than all those players.
Absolutely. I think FD for AK is sort of interesting. I mean, I see the thoughts, eliminating a lot of options, keeping like the stage from left ledge to right ledge pretty close. Down throw doesn't quite read the option, was reading a roll out, doesn't get it, landing with a back air, and now we're back to neutral.
And I feel like a lot of these back airs that he's trying to do, trying to go for the downer, not able to get it just yet. But as I was saying, he's forcing a lot back into center stage. And a lot of those times when you're doing that, you're going to take a lot more damage than you actually wanted to in the first place, right? You're forcing the note when you are the one in disadvantage. It's not your turn.
Yeah, yep. Trying to land back on the ground, ends up just actually landing on top of him with the back air.
Bro,
that
I'm
was
actually
crazy.
I'm eating my words.
For real,
like,
for
he's
real.
just forcing his way back in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. AK knows better than I do for the most part. But I will say that just getting enough percent to be able to get to the down throw and up tilt, great job for AK for taking that first stock.
Absolutely. C4 on the ground, middle of the stage. Sort of going to cut off the terrain here. Doesn't quite find it, but just throwing a lot of stuff and seeing what sticks. No pun intended to C4.
No, he's throwing grenades, not C4, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, like, he's just catching it, too. Item play for both these players have been absolutely phenomenal as well. You saw it just there.
That's
and
tough.
that's identification by playing against Snake for so long. And also, people forget Yachty used to play Snake in the early stages of Ultimate as well. So he knows a lot about this character. Is in his Quad Strike repertoire, right? So,
Absolutely.
And we're seeing a lot of that expertise in the matchup and just of the game in general from just this one game.
This ledge trap could be huge right here. Nikita coming down. He's setting up traps right now. Looking like Mystery Inc. Scooby-Doo with all them traps.
You know, earlier against Justin 25, I saw AK living for so long, throwing grenades and Nikita over and over again and just hitting himself. Yachty's doing it too.
Oh my gosh, what a big spike. Yes, absolutely.
Survivability is so strong in this matchup, right? Both these characters are technically tanks. In the grand scheme of Smash Bros.
Yep.
Heavier than usual, being a little bit floatier in some aspects as well, especially Mega Man.
Yeah. Having really low committal options.
Yeah. Going for the forward air, actually getting invincibility or something, it just wouldn't break Cypher.
Yep.
And that's going to be Yachty losing that stock and AK taking the lead again.
Yeah, and killing him off of it is huge, actually. Like, once you survive that edge guard, to be able to take the stock that quick is going to end up huge, because you were in disadvantage and you ended up getting a stock out of it. We take those to the bank. AK, how long he can keep this stock is going to be really imperative to the rest of this game. He's got himself a nice lead. If he can just do normal AK stuff and just tank this.
I love that jump down. Oh, I loved it until he SD'd.
Yep.
It was actually such a good idea because he was able to cover so much. I thought it would typically be a fair, but just a Mega Man pellet is going to be enough to take it out. That's how much these guys play, is that they know that how the limits of their character. And although like it will come out to some SDs, both these players are just showing that they're not scared to be able to throw out those options against each other.
Yep. I think it was at Gobble that we casted Colorado and Yachty. I think they had a set. He was doing that to Colin a lot because Colin was just like sort of like mindlessly drifting into the stage when he was recovering, and Yachty was jumping off with pellets like that. I thought it was creative then. I think it's good now too. Just one of those like presence of minds. Like if I picked up Mega Man, mine wouldn't do that.
Well, a lot of people in the very start of Ultimate, right? They always had complaints that players were not proficient at the edge guards against each other. Yeah, Leffen and Armada, a lot of the melee players would always complain about that sort of stuff. But Yachty's always been one of those players that is balls to the wall, willing to be able to go and attack at any point in stage. You are the one in disadvantage. I'm the one that can kill you at any point. And we see that here. And you also see Yachty's willingness to go back to Final Destination as well. It's 1-1. It's
1-1.
So we'll make that change real quick. But both these players, they're willing to take initiative. They're not just trying to wait for their opponent to screw up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh! And you saw it there, trying to go for the downer, but Yachty being a little bit too, he's smiling in the camera right there. He knows he's a little bit too overzealous. They play so often that things like that are pretty normal in that aspect, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because you really have to calculate the risk and reward right there. He could have come up big, you know. It is an SD, but we got plenty more neutral interaction that are going to amount to this game, so it's not the end of the world at all.
I mean, both these players are willing to play the camp game too. They're willing to just do this. Like, look at this. It's literally an arsenal being thrown at each other, and that's why like it gets really fast when they're at advantage. But when it's a neutral game, both these guys just play each other so often that what's the point of trying to push the envelope? They're both good enough at neutral where they can just play for tit for tat.
Absolutely, yeah, and especially if you're AK in this position, playing nickel and diamond, like, cool, if we trade percent till the very end, it doesn't matter if it's 200, he's still a stock up. It doesn't really matter for him.
172% as well, right? This is all just taking up, and we saw him live in past games where he's literally over 200%.
Not even dying, yeah, because it was cross stage, but man. And this stock is slipping away from Yachty hard, and just like that, gone in the blink of an eye.
These are crucial games to take away. This is Yachty's counter pick, even though they're on Final Destination. Once again, he is the one that wants the counter pick into the last game right here, too. Like we've said it before, like both these players go game 5 all the time, but a lot of the times it's Yachty like stealing the games away. It's not necessarily AK stealing those games, right?
Yeah.
So to see AK be able to clutch out one of those games, I think it's very crucial in his favor that he's able to have that clutch factor.
Yeah, the games that AK win are like pretty close down to the wire, but there are definitely times where Yachty will just rip it out of his hands. Because especially like if you catch Snake moving the wrong way on like Cypher or something like that, you really can't just like cheese him early if you're on top of it and you're ready for it.
Yeah, I think Mega Man also is one of those characters that get a lot of reward off of getting those reads, right?
Yep.
Moves like up tilt, like he's just throwing lemons right now. But see, he's waiting for AK to be able to push the envelope first, and he has a lot of moves that just get random kills. Down air, for example, forward air, able to edge guard, everything like that.
Yeah.
So back air killing really, really early as well. But it feels like it's a reversal of it. AK using a lot of Snake's materials, but that's Yachty getting the up tilt out, showing exactly, and giving Snake a little bit of taste of his own medicine right there.
He literally just disrespected AK's space. AK was like throwing out grenades, and he's like, there's no hitbox out. He literally ran through it all and found that up tilt. That's all it was. Oh my gosh.
Wait, roll is OP.
I can't believe that got through. That was tough.
How much invincibility does roll give you? I think that's the longest I've ever seen, and probably the dumbest way to not get punished by C4.
Yeah.
I usually don't say Snake ever gets robbed, but I kind of got robbed there.
Low key, but he still cashed it in. Nikita gonna take it. AK up 2-0, and this game and the last game have looked like pretty solid. I know Yachty has sort of had the better of AK as of recent, but that whatever AK been working on been looking pretty good this set, I must say.
I will say too, as well, just being in winner side grand finals is such a sigh of relief in this tournament because of how strong the two players waiting in loser semis are. Poopy, who didn't get to play AK or Yachty yet, took Yachty to game 5 last time he was here at Snowball, has beaten ApolloKage multiple times, and Shu, the invader from Colorado outside of Missouri, she's been an absolutely monster, beating Poopy in a pretty convincing reverse 3-0, right? And I can say this for sure that we don't have too much ZSS experience in Missouri at all.
Yeah.
So I feel like, especially against both these characters, right? I think she does her character pool does a really great job against all 3 of these characters too.
Yep, I would agree.
So it'll be really interesting seeing who meets this person in losers finals and who escapes that, because I feel like that's just a sigh of relief.
Yeah, because then you only have to win one more set also, instead of going down and having to beat somebody else and then win 2 consecutive. Like, whoever loses this set to win the tournament would have to win 3 sets in a row. Like, that's the difference between 1 and 3 sets is actually night and day.
It's crazy. And typically, right, at like smaller regionals, we would just expect them to make it back to each other, and then it's just another grand finals reset.
Yeah.
But genuinely, I don't know if this person who loses this set makes it back to grand finals.
No. The last Mimics that we went to, AK rode up with me, and Ploopy got the better of him in that tournament. It was really close, but Ploopy did get the better of him. So nobody can sleep right now, and we all know how good Shu is. Like,
Yeah, 4-tilt just sending a chapstick off stage, and that's such an early stock for Yachty to lose right there. And he chose to go back to Final Destination, and it's okay for, I guess, like the neutral game and everything like that, but the off-stage pressure has just been so strong from ApolloKage this entire set.
Yeah, and finding stocks that early in this matchup specifically is huge. Like, look, AK's already at 140. He might not even die right here. Oh, and he missed the tech. He might not, but he actually did. Never mind, guys.
It's just sometimes there's just too many explosives going on. You're hitting the stage. You don't know which hitbox is the reason why you're hitting the stage in the first place. It's hard to keep track of, and Chapstick makes it ambiguous as much as possible as well.
Yeah, he's pretty adamant about keeping that Crash Bomber at the ledge, which really does muddy up everything that goes off stage. You're completely correct.
And you see a lot of these reads coming out from Yachty, right? He knows that AK wants to choose a certain option. He's just slightly away from him, or he's facing the wrong way, right?
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
those are crucial punishes that he needs to get because AK is punishing him so hard.
Only 40% separating these two. 30 now. Got Yachty in the corner. Can he fight out? Oh, yeah. Just using Rush to go up and above, but up tilt still catch him. He's still in disadvantage. Hold up. Hold up.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, though. Yachty's the one in the lead percent-wise, but the moment you're above ApolloKage, or if you're on the side of ApolloKage, you're never comfortable. You know that he can take the stock super early. And look, 90%, he was in the lead for the longest time, and now he might lose the stock first.
Yeah, got him in the corner right now. That's a great get-up attack.
Yeah, that's willingness to be able to pick a brave option right there. And you're literally see the full gauntlet coming up.
Metal Blade robbed him right there. That's a great leaf shield to break up Nikita. That way AK can't direct it anymore. Crash Bomber on him right now.
Oh, getting the invincibility as soon as possible. Those empty hop grabs have been doing wonders for Yachty right there.
Yep.
Nikita, I think he got hit by the up B, but I think he had Cypher on, and that's going to be a forward tilt. Going to have a Crash Bomber, not going to necessarily take the stock, but again, he's off stage again.
What a great stall. Just totally knowing what resources he had and when, and waiting out the Nikita, but a huge dash attack's going to find it. AK, this is the last stock he needs to take to seed himself in Winterside Grand as the 2 seed. But Yachty not going down without a fight. This is an even game. 10.8% separating the two right now.
I'll be honest, whoever wins this game wins the not the tournament, but at least the set. So
you think if Sweeby wins this, he's got momentum in Game 5?
I think he wins. This is just a prediction right here. No side bets, bro.
Interesting. Yeah. No betting on stream.
No betting on stream. Too close to for comfort, anyways. But this
Real talk.
This is AK's momentum right here, getting so much percent, 92%. This is Yachty having to push the envelope, something that he hadn't had to do for the longest time.
Yep. Oh, this is big right now. 92%. AK bunkering down right now. Setting up shop center stage, moves back to the corner, gives himself some space. Projectiles are flying. Oh no, it's like a bullet hell.
Grabbing the grenade as well. He just has so much pressure. But this is AK knowing not to press any buttons and just forward tilting right there. And this, oh my God, mortar after mortar.
It's a Michael Bay movie, put the feet on him. And that's a big down smash. That's 3-1.
ApolloKage showing his prowess in the matchup and also trying to prove that he should have been #1 last season over
Real
Yachty.
talk.
I mean, like, I was at a New Year's party with AK, and to be completely honest, he kept talking to me about how I made the wrong decision. Or at least the panel made the wrong decision about voting him as #2. And I will say this, like, Yachty had actually a losing record against AK throughout the entire scene. For 3 months, it was so close. I think it was like a split, a difference of like maybe 4 sets, 5 sets, or something like that. It's not crucial. But the issue and the reason why the panel actually voted for AK to be second is because AK lost every single big bracket that he was a part of.
Right, I remember that.
Yachty either won from losers or he just won straight up grand finals and was able to be pretty solidly at those high crucial events with a lot of other people there. But at locals, especially when the beginning of the season, AK actually dominated Yachty.
I remember that.
It was a very strong. I will say, like, the stats get a little bit skewed because you kind of favor a little bit late.